What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 277. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
What up, what up?
Brett Murdoch,
What's up, everybody?
and Brian Manjoma.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right, got a couple people MIA. Man, Chris's back is kind of fucked up, so he cannot join us tonight. He needs to recuperate. And Adam will show up later. He's having some issues or whatever. I'm not going to say what they are, but he's having some issues, so hopefully he'll join us a little bit later tonight, you know. A couple of things before we start. I need one of you guys to vamp for me for a minute. So like I said, a couple of things here. Your boys was a little busy, before this, writing a review for Resident Evil 3, which will probably be up by the time this episode airs. So I'm just going to ask random shit. Manny, what's been going on with you lately, man?
Nothing much. Just doing the usual. I don't really take vacation on weekends. I'm working. I work straight through the weekend. The only difference is that you don't get any sort of like notes or anything during the weekend. So that's all I've been really doing. Nothing much, and then just figuring out when places close.
Oh man, yeah.
Now places close a lot earlier. So if I want to get a cup of coffee or something like that, I gotta go. The latest I can go was 3:00. And the Chinese food place closes at like 5 now. So it's inconvenient, but I can't. I'm not mad or anything because it is what it is. You know?
Yeah, I guess since you're going along that trajectory, I guess I'll just ask you guys how you've been doing a lot, with all this nonsense going on. That's a good start to it, I guess. Carlos, since you were talking, go ahead.
Things have been pretty much the same, other than the fact that I can't really go out as much. It's because no one really wants to do anything. Nothing's really open. So that's probably the worst part. But I mean, I work from home, even without a pandemic around. So pretty much my job is just the same. Nothing's changed. Another thing that is kind of weird is that, and I talked to in the chat about this. I'm like, yo, this doesn't even feel like a Sunday. And yesterday felt like a Sunday to me. It's just the days just, kind of blend together now. Nothing seems like what it used to. But yeah,
it's weird. That's weird that that's happening to you, even though you've been working normally.
Yeah, I find that weird too, because I feel that because of the fact that I work from home, I have not lost the ability to tell what day it is. Like, that's one thing I noticed on Twitter. Like, I've seen topics, people going like, "This is Wednesday." That was trendy because people forgot it was Wednesday. I'm like, okay, that's kind of odd. But then again, I have the advantage, if you want to call it that I work from home, so I have to know what day it is. So kind of interesting, Carlos, that you had that happen to you. Like, the only time I'll not know what day it is if a holiday happens. I'm like, whoa, it just throws everything off, But other than that, things have been pretty much, I guess since I'm talking, for me, business as usual, nothing's really changed. Although I do notice that even though I don't go out a lot compared to other people, I do go out enough where I'm noticing that I'm not leaving anymore. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going to a gaming event. I'm not going drinking, so like, okay, so that's kind of different, but like work wise, everything's the same. I don't have any extra time on my hands like some other people do. Like I've seen a lot of people coming up with some really inventive things to do, just because of the fact that they have a lot of free time, which is kind of cool, seeing some of the things they're doing at home. But for me, I'm like, this may sound fucked up, but I'm like, I kind of wish I had extra time because I know it's just business as usual for me, but I'm good, man. I had a few people call me up this weekend, just like wanting to see how I'm doing. I'm like, I'm fine. How you doing?
Yeah, well, you are at the epicenter right now in the U.S., so it's like people sometimes just want to find out. But interesting thing. It's like I feel kind of fucked up saying it too, but I'm like, yeah, everyone's talking about how they have free time on their hands, and I'm like, no, not me.
Not me.
Everything's
same old, Like, I wish I had free time. Shit,
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but then again, it's like it's fucked up because these people, they're losing their jobs.
They'd rather not have the free time,
Exactly.
Yeah, so in that instance, it's like, yeah, it'd be better if you were not having free time right now. But it is what it is. Anyway, Brett, how have you been holding up, man?
Good and bad. it's a weird combination of not affecting me and affecting me a lot. I'm a tattoo artist, so obviously I can't work during this. We have a 30-day ordinance put out by the city. We cannot open, along with other shops. It's not just tattoo shops, but they're handing out pretty hefty penalties and fines for actually, opening your doors. So I have been unable to work, which has been interesting. I've had some free time, as you guys have said.
Yeah.
At first, it was kind of nice. Now it's getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I can see where this would bother other people. I think writers and artists and a lot of people on this podcast, at heart, we're kind of true introverts. So we'd rather be at home playing video games, hanging out. So I've been, taking. I've just been delving into that. It's really weird. I do stuff around the house. I clean up, and then I just wait, because it's not like I need to go out and find a job. I'm just waiting for my ability to make money again to kick back in. There's not shit I can do in the meantime. So I simultaneously have a lot of free time, but it makes you feel like a piece of shit, kind of. To be honest, if that makes any sense. You're just like, man, it makes you feel like that weird, like, if I were unemployed just sitting around playing video games kind of thing. So it's cathartic and it's nice. The days have blended together a little bit. I'm kind of coming out of the haze now. I went into the Valley of Animal Crossing along with a lot of people. So, like I said, it's been this weird mix of good and bad. So I'm hanging in there. It's everybody is calling me to be like, is everything okay? Are you doing okay? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care for the most part, but other than my inability to make money, the seclusion doesn't really bother me all that much. It does suck because my mom's immunocompromised, and I really have to screen pretty much who can come in the house. So we're really limited on people coming over here. So.
The video game CS Metro? It's pretty much just that now at this point in time. No, I'm kidding. Things are actually all right. Again, things are crazy, obviously, because again, things are just crazy as all hell. But in terms of things going bad, things going good, it's kind of like half and half. Streets like closed up completely. No one's outside these days. Have you ever seen that film 28 Days Later, where the guy wakes
Yep.
up and on the bridge just looking around? You can literally do that, and I mean that in the actual sense of the term.
Wow.
Literally, I mean you just walk outside. There's nobody there. Buses are empty. Tubes empty. Shops, people queuing outside for food. It's lockdown. That's what happens. In terms of me, I'm actually quite lucky because right now I live with my girlfriend and we have a garden, so hence it's also just nice that we just pop outside for like a walk. It's our own space, so we're good in that aspect, and it's all right. Again, as you guys said, like it's just what we're kind of used to in the sense of like, hey, don't go outside, stay inside, and because we're staying inside, we have all this entertainment and whatnot. So we are the lucky end. We can play the long game.
Yeah.
In this game of attrition, like we were built for this in kind of a weird way. So yeah.
All right, you ready? You ready?
I was born in a moonlit bed. See, I was so tempted to make that reference. These people, they merely adopted the social isolation. Seriously. No, it's not even funny. Like, think about that. Like, if someone would say to you, like, "Hey, you have to stay inside all day. You're not allowed to go outside. You have to like order food as like the best option." Like that's that's like our dream job. Like, okay, cool, great. Like, I don't go outside. I stay inside. I order food all day. Like what part of that is
For some
bad
of us,
for
that's not
us?
even a dream job. It's just every day,
Exactly. So we're just used to it in like a weird sense. So yeah, I'm doing fine. Plenty of games to play, so I have no problems.
That's what's up. All right, and joining us is Mr. Adam Vale.
What's up? What's up? I live a few blocks away from Brian, so it's pretty much the same. You know, sometimes I think I saw him one day. I waved, but with the mask and shit, he didn't recognize me. So
Oh no, he saw you.
He's man. There you go.
Yo, he saw you and he ran, man.
See, that explains it. That's why I wasn't here earlier. That's telling people the secrets. Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just quickly catching people up on how we've been doing lately. So go ahead. How have you been dealing with
my situation might be a little more different with all of you because I have kids, and this is brutal. This is brutal because all the schools are closed, so they're here 24/7, trying to entertain them, trying to let them catch up on their lessons. But there's really nothing out there besides just your parents trying to do your own part of getting them into learning and doing that, since the schools haven't provided any kind of, this is the curriculum that we were following, can you continue this?
Yeah.
So we've been trying to do that, and because of that, the kids are all out of whack on their schedule. Both my kids, my 8-year-old and my 3-year-old, are both wide awake, bouncing off the walls. And we don't know what to do. We're trying to get them to lay down, but then again, they know, well, why? I don't have to get up early tomorrow, so what's the point? Yeah, it's a headache, man. It's a headache.
Yeah, our boy Mike, same situation as you, Adam.
Yeah,
because he's home with the kids and shit. They're driving him nuts,
Well, and that's the other part. So my wife and I, we get to work from home. So I'm like, okay, that's good, but it's kind of hard to work.
Yeah,
when you have kids running around, and the 8-year-old, she could play games, she could read whatever, but the 3-year-old, mommy, daddy, mom, what are you doing? Who's on the computer? Let me see. What's this? What's that? What's it? Fire!
Shit.
Did I tell you what he said to my daughter the other day? They got into an argument. He says, "I'm gonna poop on you while you're sleeping."
Yo, kids.
Yeah, he's 3 years old, and out of nowhere, I'm like, "What is going on?" You see what happens when they're not in school? Their fucking mind just starts going out of whack. He probably watched some fucked up shit on YouTube and picked it up.
By the way, shout out to Techno Fabulous for the 1,000 bits right now, man. Appreciate
damn.
And by the way, it's because of you guys throwing bits at us all the time that we're able to buy you games and shit, consistently. It's fucking awesome, man. But yeah, basically, throw it down. What's up?
Yo, man, we forgot. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Forgot to give you, man. But yeah, we're holding in there, man. You already know. Getting ready for another 30 days of this. Yeah, Adam, you heard 30 more days, man.
30 more. What's going on? 30 more days.
We have more quarantine for 30 more days, man.
What the fuck?
Yeah, 30 days, son.
When did this happen? It was on Craigslist? What the fuck?
No, tonight.
What?
No. Where'd you read this shit? Yeah. 30 more days.
Trump announced it like 2 hours ago, bruh.
2 hours ago. I was fucking trying to get my kids to wash their ass in the fucking bath. Oh, man, 30 more days.
April 30th, man. Hang in there, man. By the way, and that's if we're lucky. Let's just be real here. This isn't fucking South Korea where people respect authority. We're Americans. We don't give a fuck. We're going to keep going out. You know how we are.
A buddy of mine, his wife, her job said by June 1st. Then the building is closed. They were like, that's it. Everybody work from home. Building's closed. We'll see you June 1st. And I'm like, shit, that's months. Like, can you imagine that? Just think about just for sports and all that shit.
All that is done.
Done. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yo, man, I have a flight June 6th or June 7th.
No, you don't.
To Europe. Yeah. Oh, well, here's the interesting thing. Like, I have a flight, right? It's a fucking trip to Europe, so it's fucking expensive as hell. And I'm going to the website because I want to reschedule it or cancel it or whatever I can do. And I'm like, oh, like we only have the waivers for until May 31st. And I'm like, God damn it.
Wow.
So hopefully they change their shit, man, because I'm not going to be going on that trip.
Yeah, don't do it, bro. Don't do it.
Do they offer refunds? They should just give you a refund. I mean,
if I was you, I wouldn't leave the country until the rest of the year, man. Like, don't take the chance, man.
Yo, man, they should give me a refund, but after that bailout, they're on their fucking high horse.
And that's the thing. Even when it's done, when you show up, you're still going to have to do that quarantine thing again, right? I heard that there's certain airports you have to go to, and then you have to quarantine for like 2 weeks or some shit. That sucks. Who wants to go through that? Where are they going to put you up? A hotel, or is it like a tent or some shit, you know?
Shit, man.
A fucking cruise ship.
You know, right. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that.
Hey, remember, Tony, you know this. Remember, New York used to have a floating prison for a while. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm,
I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is on there? They're like, that's a prison. A prison.
Shit is crazy. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on here. And we're going to commence with the show. But before we do that, anybody that's in the chat right now who has not asked us any questions, feel free to. We have a lot of room tonight, so please ask us shit, man. All right, let's commence with the first question from Black Metal Gamer. All right. Oh, by the way, quick caveat. Some of these may not be edited, so just deal with it, you know? All right. First question is, if the C virus, as he's calling it, Corona, if the C virus, that's clever though, man. Resident Evil and shit.
Well, also, but remember, it gets flagged. The videos and shit on YouTube, if you start saying the word.
Listen, Twitch is where we make our money these days. Fuck that shit.
Just saying. But maybe that's why he's doing that.
Yeah, no, but he's being clever. But I like it though. C virus, I like that.
That works. That works.
If the C virus can, you know what, Adam? Let's just call it that. From now on, just call it C virus.
C virus instead of cooties. C virus.
Not only do we not get flagged, but it's also a video game term. Perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
what does the term C refer to?
All right, man, let's settle down.
Cooties.
How close can we get without getting flagged?
By the way, I don't give a fuck if we get flagged, but it is nice.
Like,
to be
can
creative.
I call it the Kung Flu?
Sure, that's clever too. Actually,
shit, we'll just call it the dollar flu from The Division because that's what's going on here. Freaking
cheap ass shit. Anyway, let me ask the question here. Okay, if the C virus continues longer than the world expects it to, do you see gaming going fully digital for the mainstream casual audience? No, people are still gonna buy physical shit, bro.
Yeah, if anything, they might hoard it. They might hoard it now.
They may actually. Here's the thing, viruses eventually settle down and go away. The shit is not going to be the new normal forever. There is going to be a new normal once this is over, but it's not like we're going to have we're going to be constantly in quarantine for the rest of our lives. That's not the way shit works, So I don't really see the people, the whole industry just shifting to all digital because of that. But like Adam said, this may actually boost physical shit,
I'll tell you this much, people, go on eBay. Go on any of those half-dollar, come to any of those auction sites because there's some people scrambling for money and they're selling all kinds of shit. And I know it sucks, it's sad, but it's true. I'm finding all kinds of items that usually there were like one or two things there. Now it's like 10 and 15 because people need money. Yeah. And this is the best time. It's like, fucking start selling shit. So you never know. If you're looking for something, an old game that you're like, I can never find it. GameStop's charging too much. Well, go on eBay. But yeah, people are going to be hoarding this type of stuff. Yeah, you can go digital. Everybody's going to go digital. Might go in that direction with the movie industry, depending on the sales. We don't know. Was it $20 that we're charging for these movies, right? Day one digitals. Yeah. So I guess maybe we'll find out toward the end of the month if that worked out for that horrible Vin Diesel movie. But we'll see.
Oh, Bloodshot?
Oh, shit. Bloodshot was shot. It was garbage.
Man, that's disappointing because I'm a fan of Bloodshot. But
yeah. But they definitely left it open for a bunch more. But anyway, the whole point is if that works, then who knows? But at least when it comes to physical, there's always going to be somebody that wants to buy physical. I mean, that's never going to go away regardless.
Shit, Tony just bought some physical shit.
I did for the first time. Yeah, Panzer Dragoon. I got the special edition that comes in the Sega Saturn case. You already know. I'm ready for that shit. I guess a better question, not that your question was bad, Black Metal Gamer was a good question. It's just how will the industry overall be affected by this when this is all said and done? What do you expect to see?
Oh, a boost.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Brett, go on along those lines.
Oh, come on.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want you to explain.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to dig too deep to figure it out. Like, how many people do you know that just bought a game to deal with isolation or quarantine? Just about everybody I know that's a gamer who now has, their job is shut down. They're like, well, I got this game. If they have the money, they're like, well, I got this game. This is my life for the next couple of weeks to 30 days. Yeah. I got two. I got Animal Crossing and the expansion for Monster Hunter.
Oh, excuse me?
By the way,
that's right.
Yeah, by the way, Brett and I were playing last night along with Chris and our buddy Morgan. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, we did doing some Monster Hunting.
Yeah, man. Smacking those motherfuckers in the face. All right. Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think the long-term ramifications are going to be? Because obviously there's going to be some changes. Think about conventions now. I don't know, man. Like I honestly believe, I could be wrong. Honestly believe E3 is fucking done. I think it's
But,
over.
a bunch of cons are probably done, but more like, what about manufacturing? Like, even if everything gets squared away, manufacturing has changed hands. We talked before about Nintendo taking some of their manufacturing to Taiwan.
Yeah.
What about the other ones? Who's making these discs for the games? Who's making the box art? I mean, they're all in different areas, and then they get packaged in one other location. We don't know if any of those are going to be still impacted because, yeah, it might be cooler here, but then maybe in other areas, now it's a hotbed. You know what I mean? And now it should. I remember I forgot where I was listening to, but they were talking about that, like with the launch of these consoles that are coming. Yeah, maybe things are working out in China, and maybe it'll get launched there first because over here the shit just hit the fan. You know what I mean? It's like we don't know if it's going to be one of those like, oh, it's available everywhere type of situation. So who knows how these manufacturing plants are going to be affected when this is all said and done?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How many are still going to be in business? You know, that's.
Yeah, I am thinking about like, will game sales go up after this is over? You know,
I think the long-term ramifications are not going to be as impactful as I think they seem they're going to be.
Yeah.
The convention thing, we're still going to have conventions. A
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of people are going to talk about E3, but
It's
E3 was going to die anyway.
I think the E3 is done. Other conventions, obviously, I think other conventions will take the place of E3, or E3 will just evolve to be just a all digital thing, like it's going to be this year. You know?
Yeah, because I mean, like things like PAX are not going to go anywhere. GDC aren't going to go anywhere. CES, all that stuff, the Comic Con.
Yeah.
But they might change because think about it. All right, let's say this is done, but there's still no vaccine. That fear is going to be in people's minds still. You know, they were like, well, I didn't catch it before. Am I still prone to catch it? It's still out there. I mean, there's no vaccine. If there's a vaccine, then things could change because then people are like, well, I'm going to go get vaccinated and, you know, I'll go to all the cons. But if there's no vaccine available by the time those cons start rolling around again, people are going to have that fear and they're not going to want to go.
Yeah, no,
yeah, but
I think even with, let's just be fair though, even with a vaccine, I think people are not going to gather in big groups for a while. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is polio. That's what this is.
Yeah.
We didn't have that, but it's going to be that situation where it's a silent killer. It's a silent impactor. It's there. You know, it happens until we come up with something. Just accept it's part of life.
But conversely, and we're even seeing this now, there's still going to be those places where a lot of people are just going to gather just because they've been all that shit's been pent up for so long. They're just going to gather together. But you're seeing that shit even now. Motherfuckers are just in the streets and shit in large groups and shit. You know,
Sure.
It's hard to hold people back, man, especially with the population. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how gaming is going to be affected. But in the short term, yeah, sales are going to go up obviously because like motherfuckers are home. They need games.
So, Tony, I have a question for you about this. Because this is something that I saw online. I was like, oh, man, what about you? You live in a big building. Do you hear, like, people just getting together, like neighbors and hanging out and doing, like, floor parties or something like that? Or is everybody just quarantining in their apartment?
No. Motherfuckers are still outside like it's normal. They don't give a fuck. They're still, like, you know, outside, you know, with their boom boxes and shit, doing barbecues. They don't give a... It's the... You know how it is. They don't give a fuck.
I know.
You know?
Oh, man.
They don't give a shit, dude. You know, like they're still fucking out. Even little kids outside at fucking midnight and shit, going crazy.
It's the projects. What do you expect? Seriously.
Yeah. That's just how it is, man. And you know, and this is also not to get too glib about it, but it's just be real. 30 days, I think that's optimistic because motherfuckers ain't gonna stay inside for no 30 days, man. We're Americans, man. We're too hard-headed. You know, our whole country was built on fuck the man.
Exactly.
You know,
it's a whole go out there, go get social, do this, do that. Don't stay home. You're wasting your time. How many times have we been frowned upon and talked about? It's like, oh, why are you wasting your time indoors playing video games? Motherfucker, now I can survive. I know what to do indoors. I can't. I'm not going. What am I doing? You know, it's like we know how to. Like what Brian said earlier. It's like, yeah, we can order food.
Yeah,
we have activities up the wazoo to do. We're okay with this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else you guys want to chime in on with regards to the, you know, how gaming is going to be affected by all this? Brian, what
like I mentioned
it. Yeah, actually, no. Go ahead with Carlos. He's talking then, Brian.
In the like I mentioned, in the long term, I don't think it's going to affect hardly any. In the short term, like Adam said, like cons, like probably for like the next year, maybe even 2, are going to be, you know, scaled down or not even exist. But I think after 2 years, for sure, like it'll just go back to normal.
Oh yeah, things are gonna stabilize for sure.
Because not only, and going back to the science, it's like not only are we getting are probably going to get a vaccine for this, but people who get this virus, more than likely, just like almost any other virus, it's like you can't really get it again.
Well, that's what they're trying to find out now. It's funny you brought that up because I just heard a doctor talking about that, and they asked him a question about like SARS, like that came over, that was a big deal. And for a fact, they know now from the studies, and it's been so long, that if you get it, then you're pretty much safe for 3 years.
Interesting.
But now this is so fresh, we don't know. We know people that have caught it and they're okay afterwards. So now we have to just watch them. They have to be monitored to see, hey, you've been out and about, you're living your life 2-3 years later. How do you feel? Are you okay? Any colds? So then who knows? We don't know. We don't know if it's a quick turnaround or, hey, if I can get 3 years after catching it, I'll settle for that. That's all right.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, Barry Burton, I believe you this time when you say you're not going to New York Comic Con. I actually believe you this time, man.
Shit, half of it's going to be a hospital.
Yeah.
It's Jacob Javits.
Oh, by the way, Barry Burton says the Javits Center is currently having a convention much worse than New York Comic Con. Yeah, because they got a fucking morgue and shit. Yeah, man.
Shit, Cootie Con. It's Cootie. That's it. I heard the hospital I was born in on First Ave over there. Bellevue has turned into a morgue.
Yeah, if I could imagine, Elmhurst, the hospital I used to go to when I was younger, that shit's all fucked up right now. By the way, like you were saying, we don't really know about this because apparently, like, if you do get it and you recover, like, you may have some like permanent, some fucked up shit with your lungs. It's still too early to tell, Mm-hmm. Anyway, let us move on to.
Here's one question I want to ask real quick. This is linked to this, so this is good. This is a good question. And then if anyone's in the chat, they can go to.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to make a video game off of this? Because eventually someone's going to fucking make a video game about this shit. Because we do about everything. There was even a 9/11.
What are you talking about, man? They already made 2 video games about this. It's called The Division.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, by the way, me and Adam, and Chris and my cousin were playing the other day, and we were like, yo, this is kind of weird playing this shit right now, bro.
It's a little close now.
Yeah. Also, and I can say this because everybody knows I've been playing Resident Evil 3, right? I can't tell you about the game or anything, but I was gonna say even that's a little like, yo, like when the game starts, it's not a spoiler because it was in the original one. Like you see Raccoon City all fucked up and shit. You're like, yo, this kind of feels like real life right now, bro.
And if people that catch this and are in a morgue all of a sudden start getting that full.
Yo, did that body just move, son?
Holy shit. Start twitching.
Aim for the head, aim for the head, aim for the head.
That's it. World War Z.
Yo, you have to make light of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's it. Man. I mean, you can't be depressed all the time.
Yo, man, y'all be looking at them bodies, son. Like, yo, that shit just moved, son. I think, that motherfucking moved, son. Yo, I'm moving. And then just back off and shit slowly.
Oh. Well, they're cremating them. That's the other shit too.
Good, cremate that shit.
It's
don't
good
bring
in
in the fumes though. Fuck
you
that.
just don't. There was this one doctor in Italy, and he was on the news, and he was crying and stuff, and he was talking about how
he's Scusi.
It's Scusi, right? He said that they had so many people coming in, and they were putting them all over the place. That when family members started calling, he was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for, let's say, Uncle Louie, whatever." And we're like, "Shit!" When they finally found the bed that he was in, because that's how they market him through the beds. They're like, "Oh, that guy died 2 days ago, and he was already cremated." And it's like they didn't know because they're understaffed to like, hey, we have to contact the family, let them know this is the case. He passed. We're cremating him. We can't look. And it's heartbreaking because that's happening all the time now. Can you imagine that shit? Your buddy goes in and is like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to the hospital. You don't hear from him. He's like, yo, he died and they burned him.
Damn, son. Yo, and then my thing is like, and my mom was telling me about this, right? She was like, yo, how do you know those ashes are actually from your relative? How do you know they're not from the cigarette tray or something? You don't fucking know.
Nope. It's probably mixed with whatever else is in the furnace there.
Yeah. Like, yo, you got your uncle, you got that guy's on and shit. You got a little bit of this kid's like foot or something. Like, you don't know, Shit is
I would like to be cremated and dumped in the harbor. That's it, right under the Brooklyn Bridge.
That's illegal now.
Don't tell anybody. That's your responsibility, Manny.
That's my responsibility. You're this shit on me.
Don't put that shit on him.
If I go before everybody here, you're gonna get a package in the mail. I need you to take a quick bus
Adam,
ride.
I got you, son. I got you.
You got me? Good. Go to the Brooklyn Bridge and just dump the shit.
I got you, son. I got you. Your cousin will handle it, but I'll do it.
There you go. See? There you go. It's documented, man. The video. This is recorded. It's on the internet, so it must be true.
I'll do it.
Oh, there goes that.
All right, man. Let's move the fuck on, man. Oh God! All right, next question here from Black Metal Gamer. All right, another relevant question: would Animal Crossing be as successful without the current crisis? So basically, it goes: do you think our world crisis led to a higher sales of Animal Crossing due to its very happy vibes? If this virus never happened, do you think it would have even sold as many copies? Brett, you are our resident Animal Crossing expert here, so tell us what you think about it. We were actually discussing this right before the show, people. It's kind of funny how that worked. We're talking about it. I'm looking at the question, I'm like, oh shit, we're going to talk about this tonight. So go ahead, man. I do not hear you, sir.
Sorry, my mute was on.
Yay.
I think indirectly it got not minor, but not gigantic sales boost. I mean, really what happened was everybody was already excited for this game, and with everything that's going on, it kind of makes for a charming story to say, because people are taking solace, they're isolated, and they're playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and people are talking about that, and that puts it in the news cycle. But we're talking about it right now, which gets people's attention, and they look into what Animal Crossing is, and so it's getting a lot of publicity, and I think that has helped it get a boost. But I don't think its success is due to everything that's going on. I think it would have been a massive hit and probably sold. I would say if it probably got between a 15 and 20% sales boost if I'm being generous.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot. That's still a lot, 15, 20%.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being really generous. So you have to assume at least 80% of these people were already going to buy the game. So I don't think that its massive success is due to it, because its massive success is just it's ridiculous. It's the best-selling game on the Switch at this point, isn't it?
I don't know about that. Isn't Pokemon that? We don't want to say that for sure, people.
I know it is. It's breaking records for fastest selling Switch game. It's on track to get more copies out than any other game. I mean, it's doing amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I generally agree with you. I think this game was going to be a success even without this. Obviously, this thing is helping for sure, but it would have been a hit anyway. People were hyped for this game before this. They were already very hyped. And
we've been waiting for years.
Yeah, and Nintendo first-party games in general sell very well, especially on Switch. So the success was already pretty much predetermined. This is just helping things, because obviously you go on social media, and even people who may not have been interested in Animal Crossing, you see people talking about it and shit. And they're like, oh, I've got nothing else to do. I may as well buy. But at the same time, to be fair, remove the C virus out of the equation. Those same people probably would have seen people talk about Animal Crossing and still bought it because of that, just because of the hype. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the game is going to be successful regardless. See, if I have to put a number on it, I'm gonna be on the conservative. I'm gonna say it boosted it by maybe 5 to 8%. Because again, the game was gonna fucking blow up regardless,
What was it that Sony mentioned? And I forgot where it was. I wish I had brought it up for this question. But I heard that all digital sales for all the digital stores like Epic and Steam and PlayStation, Xbox, they were seeing a massive boost, which is why they were doing the throttling in Europe and stuff. I know Sony announced
PSN is doing that in America now.
Yeah, and it was because of all the heavy flow of downloads. So I'm sure everybody, they're all quarantined, they're home, and I'm like, shit, I want to play something. If you had a Switch, and a lot of people have them, and I'm like, oh, that's a new game. Fuck, I'm doing nothing. Click, click, click. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I see here that it's breaking sales in Japan.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think, put a pin on it. I want to revisit this on Thursday because I think that's interesting. All right, anybody else want to chime in on the Animal Crossing sales and the C virus?
I think the same thing as you, Tony. As in, it was going to get a bump anyway because again, people are just bored. But I don't think it's that much of a bump that people think it is. It's probably just maybe a 5%, 10% type thing. Was like, hey, it's small enough, but it's still there. It's dumb saying that it's not getting a bump because of it, because everything is. But then I wouldn't say that it's big enough to make a big difference. Because the sounds of it, people were just really, really excited for this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bound to do well. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, people are hyped for this before C virus. All right, let us move on here to the next question, which I'm saying very slowly. All right, we got Mr. Damien in the house, man. First question is an interesting one. It's a mixture of video games and movies, but I will allow it because they're still video game related. All right. Who do you think leaves more dead bodies, Nathan Drake or John Wick?
Oh, John Wick.
What? Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake kills like the population of like countries, and
he's killing full towns. He's going in and just killing everybody.
I'm willing to say Nathan Drake. I think because like it's a tight one, but I think that he just edges out because he just murders.
Think of all the innocent people he killed. Like that were like, yo, I just took this job because I needed some money, and all of a sudden this guy's sneaking up behind me and just stabbing me.
Nathan Drake's hobby and aspirations in life is to collect treasure, but he's killed more people than he's collected treasure.
That is true.
He's a serial killer.
Think about it. Per game. He kills hundreds of people per game. Like, you know, does John Wick kill hundreds of people per movie?
He might kill. I mean, the last one probably, but not the first.
Well, he had help. He had help, and the last one he had help at the hotel.
Yeah. By the way, I need to say we're not taking anything from John Wick. The guy is a very effective and efficient killer. The guy's the fucking man. Yeah, Nathan Drake has more fucking bodies on his,
and he's happy doing it. He can have humor afterwards. Yeah, he is. There's no blood on his hands. He sleeps like a baby.
You know, after killing a small population of a town and shit. You know.
Yep, he's cool. Where's Sully? Let's go.
Right.
Also,
hey Sully, snap that guy's neck. All right, go ahead.
I've heard that Uncharted 4 is the PSN Plus game for next month. So
yeah.
Yep. Hey, it's a good
plug.
Yeah, I'm biggest Uncharted 4 though.
That was fun. Here's
the thing. I don't dislike Uncharted 4 as much as some other people do, but Uncharted 4 was not that great either. Compared to, you know, let's just be real. 2 is the pinnacle. 2 is the pinnacle. You know,
two is the apex of Uncharted games. I agree.
Yeah.
I finished all of them except that expansion that they did recently.
That was good.
Legacy?
I didn't. Good. Lost Legacy is really good, man.
I got to the waterfall area and I was like, I'll get back to it.
Adam, did you play the PSP? Not PSP, the PS Vita game?
Oh yeah, the Vita. Yeah, that was fun.
Golden Abyss.
Yeah, Golden Abyss. That was a day one for me because I bought that and FIFA at once.
Of course, you gotta get FIFA.
Of course, football for life.
Football, man.
Football.
Yeah. Again, this isn't like hey, I like Nathan Drake, but it's like, no, there's more evidence of him just murdering entire villages and shit worth of people, you know? And I think he's worse than John Wick because he laughs about it in jokes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
he
John Wick gets fucked up, you know, because of shit like that, you know?
Well, that's why I'm like kind of hesitant about the whole movie thing. It's like, you're just gonna show him, kill like a lot of people.
It's gonna be one gang. They're gonna like slim it down. It's gonna be one guy with one gang on one island, and they kidnapped somebody or did something, and then that's it. They're gonna dumb it down because you can't have him traveling around the world just killing everybody in his path. Because that's what he does.
Every minute he'd be snapping necks. You know?
Yeah, he doesn't even care. Again, like I said, some of these guys probably just hired help. It was like, yo, carry this gun. We just need you to go. Oh, okay. You ever heard anybody? No. His wife and his kids they don't know when's daddy coming home. I don't know. He got this new security job. What's happening? Where's the follow-up to that?
Oh man. Yeah, he breaks some dude's like, oh, this guy really cracks me up, you know? Oh man. John Wick ain't doing shit like that, man.
No, man.
Yeah, John Wick's serious.
Yeah. But by the way, I think that's a perfect role for Keanu Reeves because he doesn't talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, because every time whenever he talks, he's like, whoa, you know.
Yeah,
like I think of him from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He'll always be Ted. What's his name in the movie?
Ted Theodore Logan.
Yeah, Ted Theodore Logan. Yeah, he always.
See, but that's the thing.
Even in Dracula, it's like, whoa, dude, you're a vampire. You know.
Yeah, they're making a new Bill and Ted.
Yeah, they're making. But for the current generation, all they know him is from these John Wick movies.
Yeah. I remember that. That's how Manny sold John Wick to me. He's like, yo, this is a perfect role for Keanu Reeves because he doesn't talk. I'm like, okay, I'll check that out.
He doesn't say a damn thing.
And don't get me wrong, I like Keanu Reeves, but I could never take him too seriously just because, like, whoa, dude.
It's hard. It's hard for a lot of comedians, though. You hear that all the time. It's like that when they try to break out because they know people.
Bro, you mean like, I can't break this bus, dude? You know, it's like
even though he's not a comedian.
he's not a
Yeah,
comedian.
exactly.
That's
He's
the
not a
funny thing. He's not a
comedian.
comedian.
He does
Nah.
the best dub voice of like, I just want to go surf, man, and he just has that
Oh, that's
look
not
on his face.
that's not a comedian.
No,
That's
he's not a
just
comedian. It's just
It's not a
unintentionally
comedian,
funny.
but I know I'm just saying comedians in general.
Yeah.
He's special. Keanu, there's not many actors that have that dull look on their face all the time.
since we're in a tangent. This dude. I mean, quietly for someone that can't really like deliver lines that great, is in so many fucking amazing movies. He's like in fucking Speed.
Yeah, he knows how to
Bill
pick
and
them.
Ted's.
Yeah.
The Matrix, first one.
Now that Ronin movie
John-
was pretty good. I don't like Ronin.
John Wick trilogy. Like this dude.
Yeah, no, Keanu Reeves knows how to pick movies. Generally speaking, you know.
He's in Brian's favorite game of all time.
It was smart for Matrix. Did the Matrix?
Yeah, you know who's another one? Besides that stupid ass Mummy movie, Tom Cruise was that guy too. It was like, yo, all his movies are fucking good except for that movie was trash.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You
That
know.
was pretty bad.
Anyway, where the fuck are we right now? Next question from Mr.
So, yeah.
Damien Man. All right, this is an interesting one. Okay, I have been gaming since 1985 up to the Dreamcast. All consoles wanted to bring the arcade experience home, short games that were fun. Then Sony brought the movie experience to gaming, and games went from being fun to being good games, long story-driven games. My question is, do you think games can go back to being fun being fun first games like Crazy Taxi, Contra, that you could finish in 1 hour with simple story? No, you'll never go back to that.
Yeah,
By the way, you saw what he was doing though, right? That's Sony's to
man.
blame.
Sony ruined video games, man.
So, by the way, that whole narrative thing's been going on even before the PlayStation even existed.
But
you know?
but Sega don't even want to bring those games back. You know, it's like, what the hell?
Here's the
Crazy
thing,
Taxi.
you gotta understand, this is what I love about doing Throwdown. We throw some history at you guys, right? You gotta understand, like, Sega originally the Sega Genesis did very, very well because it did a great arcade port. Arcades ports and all that shit were fantastic back in the day. But towards the end of the life cycle, of the Sega Genesis and along with the SNES, people wanted longer, meatier experiences, right? RPGs did shit like that. Like, basically, you couldn't get away with just like a 1 hour shooting game. You couldn't do that. That's why my beloved Saturn didn't do very well, because people weren't trying to do that shit anymore. Again, this was even before Sony. I know Saturn came out around the same time, but Sony did not drive this. Like, I know Sony is currently known for those kind of experiences, but back when PlayStation first started, no, they were just doing zany, crazy, goofy games too, just like everybody else, platformers and shit. Sony was not doing anything different than anybody else. Nowadays they're like that, but they're not solely responsible for that shit. But again, Sony is just doing what where the industry in general has been going. It's just they mostly do that type of game, or at least that's what they're mostly known for, because obviously they still do indie games and shit like that, but that's kind of become their forte. But the industry has been moving in that direction for a very, very long time. So it's not just Sony did it, everybody was doing it.
Well, people need to understand, I mean, arcades were king forever. That was it. If you wanted to play any game, it was the arcade. So it just made sense that those were the games that were being ported over. So eventually, when that started dying out because of the ports and everybody saying, why go to the arcade, I'll just play at home, that's when they were like, well, we got to come up with other ideas. We have to now come up with these ideas. We got to do something to keep them playing these things. And then we start getting these longer games.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing is, because back in, for the arcades, the reason they were so fucking hard is because they need you to keep pumping quarters, right?
Quarter munchers.
When you get a game at home with the same thing, people get frustrated. I'm like, why do I only have 3 continues? What the fuck is this shit? So the arcades, as much as we love them here, we're old school and shit, but yeah, that doesn't, it's fun for a while, but it's not a lengthy experience that people want, Like, you're paying $60 for a 1 hour game and shit. That's one of the complaints that people are throwing at Panzer Dragoon, the remake. Like, yo, this shit's fucking short. Because even though that was not an arcade game, it is still a Sega game that was still very much an arcade game. But yeah, don't blame Sony, Damien. Come on now, son.
The longest NES game I played was Metal Gear. That was long.
Yeah,
I remember that. I'm like, whoa, what the hell?
Final Fantasy is also one of the longer ones.
Yeah, RPGs, and Sony didn't start RPGs, Again, that's what they're kind of known for now, But yeah, interesting stuff. Hold on a second, I gotta get my questions in here. Get my ducks in a row, baby. All right, here we go. Chirons, man. All right, so the next question is from this one's a more interesting. We got to think about this one. So this one's from Empress Cortana. That is a great name, by the way. I actually know her from Twitter. She's cool. So she wants to know, what are some great examples of esoteric symbolism and mythology in games? Brett, this one seems like a question for you, sir.
Yeah, we have to think about that for a second.
I'll solve it. I guess I go back to you if you want.
Immediately, I want to throw in Senua.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great one.
See, Control has some really cool ones. Control is essentially about that, objects of power and all that.
I was thinking the first one that came to mind, which is funny because I never actually played this game, and Manny doesn't like it very much, is Xenogears with the whole God stuff. Like I think God is the boss of the game. If I'm Doom Eternal, that's another one. There's hell and shit, all that crazy stuff. Doomslayer.
Oh, the original Diablo, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's symbolism out the ass. Actually, I would argue that the older Dooms were more symbolic with all that blatant fucking imagery there,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What about you, Manny?
As far as esoteric
And mythology and
mythology?
Games.
Oh, Bloodborne.
A lot of...
Oh, we're going to get to that in a bit. Bloodborne. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, they Bloodborne definitely, goes into that sort of realm where, it seeps, at first you think it's a monster game, just a monster werewolf game, and then all of a sudden it's about
H.P. Lovecraft shit, yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft stuff. A lot of games sort of do straddle that deeper line when of like the occult and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I know there's probably a ton more like occultish kind of games out there.
There's literally a game called Cthulhu.
I kind of feel that's more of the realm of the PC gamers, so the point and click kind of games, the old school ones, where they really delved into crazy shit like that. But yeah, the first one that just came to mind was Xenogears, just because everybody always talks about that, all the God and all that other shit going on,
Mm-hmm.
And isn't there like a fighting game where they had a bunch of like gods fighting each other or something?
War gods?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it's called. Shit is interesting. Mortal
Populous on PC.
Yeah, where you are a god.
You are the god, and people pray to you, and they put up the symbols and stuff, and you could just say, fuck all of you, and destroy their land and have them all drown.
Or black and white.
Yeah. All those fucking, what's his face? Peter, what's his name again?
Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux, yeah.
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, he's like the God game guy, Peter Molyneux. Where's that guy been, man?
It's more like the industry ousted him because he hasn't been around in a while.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Manny's podcat hanging out back there.
Peter's still trying to make that boy talk. Remember the little boy that you could play with and hang out with, your virtual friend? Milo. Yeah, he's still trying to figure that shit out.
God of War 2008. All the God of Wars have all that blatant mythology in your face.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
What's up?
Oh, no one else heard that?
No.
Oh damn! I heard like some loud ass fucking noise. It's like
maybe the aliens are coming, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking.
They're checking up on you.
By the way, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, let's just say for the sake of argument, like aliens are up there watching us right now. What are they thinking during us? Like, look at these stupid ass humans with another disease, man.
I told you we weren't supposed to get them. We're not going to eat this shit. They're going to get us sick. I told you. Let's go to the other quadrant. This fucking planet screwed up.
Or it's like that Twilight Zone episode. It's like, we've already taken over this planet. I am from Mars.
or since you're talking about that, they're actually outside the field observing us. Also, this is how they react to a virus.
Yes.
I'm disappointed. Oh, by the way, is God of War considered as esoteric?
I don't know about esoteric, but it definitely has a lot of mythology, and I don't know about esoteric though.
I don't think it can it? Because it's blatant.
Yeah, it's
most. I mean, not most people, but a lot of people know about Norse mythology.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm thinking about aliens watching us. Look at these dumbass humans.
Look at them.
A disease has crippled their society.
They're not
Pathetic.
handling what we sent them that well.
Well, it wasn't even like a invasion tactic. They're like, hey, what if we just take a flu from a bat and put it in a person?
Yeah, right.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a bet. It's like, hey, yo, Zwark, I bet you they won't eat a bat if we inject it with something. Oh, I bet they will. Yo, the motherfucker ate a bat. Now everybody's sick. Shit is
Well, they were
crazy.
saying also, what if an animal ate a bat and we ate that animal?
It could be, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of those aliens just got frisky with a human, and then this shit started spreading. Like, yo, Bobby, I told you to keep that shit in your pants. These humans can't handle it, bro.
Or they're like, send the universal greeting.
Yeah, oh God, no.
Uh,
Oh, man. Shit is
Why do
crazy.
they not accept it?
Why did they not accept the universal greeting? We come from Mars.
Oh, we're horrible.
Man, there's no Martians, man. Oh God, fuck, are we talking about? All right, let's move on, man. Where the hell are we?
I'm gonna
What's
make
up?
food. Are you almost done?
Yes. Who the fuck are you talking to?
he's talking to his
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, Brad, we're gonna finish your show.
We got Dr. Doolittle over there. He's got his animals.
You give me shit for being on mute, and then you get this shit. This is what happens.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Brett's podcast, man. Yo, we got animals in this bitch, man. All right, where the hell are we? The reaction GIF King. All right, so he goes, this question stems from, actually, I'm just going to read the whole thing. What games did you miss out on that you regret not playing? This question stems from me growing up as a kid and never owning anything other than PlayStation consoles, the one exception being a Game Boy. Throughout the generations, I have missed out on many platform exclusives because I only had access to one platform. All right, so what games do you regret missing out on?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Yeah, Carlos,
different.
name every game that you missed out on because you were on vacation.
Oh, you
bro.
cut off.
Oh,
At least for us.
name every game that you missed out on while you were on vacation. That's what you regret, you know?
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2, Death Stranding.
Division 2, remember?
Division 2.
The Division 2, yep. And there's another one I just don't
My name
remember
is
what
Mayo.
I platinum that shit. Dude.
Nice.
Man.
Erase the bank.
Man, that's
Erase
a
the bank.
shameful plat, man. Come on, guys. Don't be proud of that shit. That's like being
Yeah.
proud of Terminator Salvation Platinum, you know?
Yo, like they say, politicians say, every vote counts. So every
Nah,
game.
man, not
counts
every
for-
platinum counts. I'm gonna judge you, bro. You know?
Yo.
Yeah, so
You can't judge me.
Red Dead 2 and Death Stranding are the two big ones. The Division is also another big one. The Division 2, I actually did get to play a little bit of it. But then, I left and I went on my trip and I came back. Everyone was, ranked up like way higher than I was. So it's like I couldn't. The only reason I liked playing the game was because I got to play with my friends. So it's like, I'm not gonna play this shit by myself. So I just never played it back again.
Well, that's the one plus with Warlords is that if you did get it, the Warlords pack, you're automatically 30. So then it's like, all right, boop, we pushed you up there. They don't do that for Division 2.
I'm not too big fan of microtransactions that make you better.
Oh man. Brian, you're gonna like my answer. What do you think it is? Let's see if you can guess.
Witcher 3.
Yes.
Witcher 3.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that game seems really cool, but I missed out on that bitch, and I ain't going back.
There's still time.
Yeah, nah.
there's still
Actually,
time.
I want to play Witcher 2 and 3. That's what I
No, don't play 2.
No, I'm skipping one. I'm going to listen to everybody. Skipping one.
2's all right. Again, 2 will make sure that with 2 you get the references that make in 3 because lots of 3 there's like
Yeah.
a back to 2, so hence it won't just be like, okay, who's this guy again or who's that guy? Like, why should I care about you? So hence you kind of get that background, but it's up to you.
You can
do
skip.
By the way, I own all 3 of the games. I have
Yeah.
them all on my
You'll-
PC.
Yeah, you'll see the polish if you go from 2 to 3.
Well, that's the
You'll
other
see.
reason.
Yeah.
Because I heard that from some people. Brian doesn't want to agree with this, but I heard from some people that the combat in the games is not good, but it gets better. So I'm like, okay, if I deal with the combat in 2, I'll like the one in 3.
Nah, I played 2, and the difference between 2 and 3 is monumental.
Really?
It's-
It's like
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
In terms of graphics, in terms of gameplay, in terms of everything.
Everything.
It's night and day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So then that's why
just
it's long though. It's long. Just go to 3. That's it. Don't even bother with 2.
Well, I'm not gonna
So-
play any of these. I'm just saying hypothetically speaking. You know?
Well, he's hypothetically telling you.
Yeah, hey, there you go. There you go.
That's it.
You know what? I'll go down the line here. Adam, are there any? Because you play everything. So this,
I
do
play
you even
fucking
have anything,
everything.
man? Do you anything you?
It's more like games that I wish I could just go back to finishing in
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda. I love the Mass
Nah,
Effect,
you don't
and
wanna
even
go
that
back to
one.
that.
And again, every time I go and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play some, and I just can't get into it. It doesn't. The
'Cause it's
story,
not
everything
good.
just doesn't pull me in
It's not
like
good,
the
man.
others. It's not good, and it hurts because I was hyped for that.
Yeah, I
was
feel
really
you, bro.
hyped, you know.
Fuck that game, man.
So yeah.
You're not missing out on much, man.
Yeah, nah, you're good. You're good, bro.
Yeah.
You know, Carlos, man.
Yo, man, I already went.
Yeah, you did go, didn't you? Brian.
Spec Ops: The Line. I sadly missed out on that when it came out. I just thought, oh, another third-person shooting game like Gears of War. Nah, I'm good. And then I went back and played it one day just because I was bored, and I was like, wow, this game actually is really, really damn good. Like, why is no one talking about it? I have no idea. So yeah, I guess that is the one I missed out on. Everything else, I don't feel like I have missed out on. So, no, not really. Singularity, I guess, is at a stretch because Brett really likes it, and I also too really like it. I can't think of anything else that I just missed out on.
Yeah, I want to quickly address what Goose is saying about Mass Effect Andromeda. He says, Tony, is it not a good game, period, or not a good Mass Effect game? It's not a good Mass Effect game. As an actual game, it's adequate. You know, I played it. Like I think I put 70 hours into it. Gameplay wise, it's okay.
Damn.
You know, it does what it needs to do. But the thing is, I'm sorry, the story. I know you liked it. It was boring, man. And here's like, it should have been fucking dope. You're going to another galaxy and shit. This shit is crazy. But the way they handled it, it was just like it was just weak. It was just so weak. And I know, you know, I should try to judge it on its own, but it's a Mass Effect game. You got to judge it at, you know, compared to the other ones. And this shit is not there, man. It is just not there. You know.
Yeah, and also the world is not as
it's not as interesting,
fully developed and interesting as the other Mass Effect games, and the story is like the best part of the first couple of Mass Effect games, and this one is just like you're just annoyed by it. I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm not interested in any of these characters. And then for me, I played the game on PC, and I went I was playing it on my PC, and I wasn't even liking it. And then like the combat is okay, the gameplay is okay, and then
it's not bad. It works, you know.
The
levels are cool. That, you know, get some nice imagery and shit. You know what I'm saying? The powers are cool. You know,
is it? It ran on a Frostbite engine or something like that.
Yeah, but that was also a problem though. That it caused some issues with the faces and shit. You know.
Well, yep, and then the whole thing with the faces looking all fucked up, and for me, I stumbled. It was like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours in. I stumbled on a game killing glitch or whatever. Like I just couldn't. I couldn't continue the game, and I'm like, yeah, this is enough for me. I don't really need to keep going. I don't want to play this game anymore. And I stopped.
Yeah, no, I went through it just because I'm like, it's Mass Effect. I got to do it, you know. And again, the actual gameplay was good, and I did enjoy the final part where you're making the final assault on the station. That was really cool. But yeah, it's a Mass Effect game, nah, son. It really falls short, you know, of the mark. You know, so I put 70 hours in that shit. I don't need to replay it. I know what I played, you know.
Playing that game made me miss the colored endings.
Oh shit, yo.
That's how bad it was for me.
Just like The Last Jedi made me appreciate the prequels, you know? That's how bad that piece of shit was. Oh, God. Brett, are there any games you regret not playing?
Not really.
Can I guess?
I can play them.
Yeah, you haven't played them.
Can I say one, and maybe Brett will agree or not?
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Cuphead.
I don't regret having not played that because I still plan on playing it.
It's got you there, Carlos.
That's what I tell myself every day, and I never get to these things.
Yeah, Cuphead's not really a time-sensitive game, though.
No, you play
That
whenever.
is that is true. That is
The
true.
best things I could think of would be like big multiplayer games that like you didn't get in in time. Best one I could say is I wish I had been on the first wave of the first Dark Souls instead of slogging my way through a gauntlet of overpowered board players. Because I mean that shit was brutal.
Yeah, you guys could check out previous episodes. Brett has gone into that story in detail. It's a good one. You basically felt like you were in the real world because like it's all desolate and the only thing left are these like gods that just want to murder you. So your experience was like analogous to the actual in-game story.
Yeah, it was. But then again, like that kind of made for kind of a cool experience, and it forged me in Fire Man. Like after that, I was like, oh man, the other games like it's not that tough. Like having insanely overpowered players just bleed into your world to murder you because they hate you. That's some hard shit right there.
So that's a rough lesson, man. All right, we're done there. Again, guys, if you want to ask us any more questions, we'll actually take some more. Gift King, Goose, if you want to ask us more questions, you go ahead, bro, because otherwise we're going to be done in about like 10 minutes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, this show lives and dies off of you guys, man.
Throw a coin to
so
your
so we're accepting extra questions tonight, man. All right, next up is another question from Mr. Goose. Okay, if each of you were Jim Ryan, the current head of PlayStation, how would you handle the rollout of PS4? Think of everything, marketing, messaging, which trailers of what next-gen games you'd show, which third-party publishers you partner up with to show off upcoming games and theirs. Look at Microsoft and how they are currently on the offensive. What would you do to counteract that? Would you counteract that? Think of the entirety of what it means to launch a console. You can use past rollouts as a guidance. So basically, to boil it down, he goes, what would you do as Jim Ryan to roll out the PS5 in excruciating detail? I'll start with myself, and I'm just going off the top of my head here. First of all, what they should have done is basically follow the PS4 formula, where you fucking have a press conference. By the way, here's the thing. With this fucking COVID shit, it kind of threw everything off whack,
C-virus.
The C virus. Shit, I have to go into hypothetical land now, don't I? Fuck, actually, can we even answer this question? I just realized I don't know if we can answer this question. Like, with this fucking COVID shit, like, how do you even roll out a console now?
Yeah, and we can't we can't
Microsoft.
hypothetical that it's not there. I mean, they're all saying it because they have shareholders. They're trying to stick to the game plan because things can change. Things are changing every day, but not for the better. But they don't know, so they're going to stick to that plan until they can't. So I still think there's going to be a delay for both consoles.
Okay, he says independent of the C virus. So this is a hypothetical thing then, hypothetical. Okay, again, you know how I feel about hypothetical shit, but let's just indulge it because we got a show to run here. Hypothetically speaking, if the coronavirus, I said I don't give a fuck. We're not going to make money off this shit anyway. If this shit didn't exist, how would you handle PlayStation? So yeah, what I would have done is copy what you did with the PS4 to a letter. Late February, you have a press conference, right? That you stream and shit, where you show all the games, the capabilities of the console, all that shit. Get people fucking hyped, right? Maybe show Deep Down 2 in the bitch, but never put it out. And then, E3, Sony should have been at E3. That's the other thing. Again, we're hypothetical, so I'm just going fucking nuts here. Be at E3. Show off the console like you did before. Get the actual physical console, the price point, all that shit. During the summer, you build up more hype and all that. And then during the winter, PSX. This is something they did not have for PlayStation 4 originally. Take advantage of that. Have PlayStation experience out there and just get the people in there to actually play these fucking games. And as far as marketing goes, plaster that shit everywhere. Times Square, all of that. PlayStation all day, every day. That's what I would have done. Again, copy what you did with PS4 because it worked very well. Just add in the PlayStation experience at the end of the year, and you would have been golden. You would have been golden. So that's how I would have handled the rollout. I'm gonna roll down the who gave us money here? PacDan16 subscribe. Thank you, sir.
All
right, Adam, how would you have handled the rollout of the PS5 if this COVID shit didn't happen?
All right, so let's say, so this didn't happen, and we're at that point where we still don't know a date. We haven't seen anything, and E3 comes around and they get on stage and say, all right, we're going to show you everything. We're going to put out our cards, show the console, start talking about all the games coming and stuff. And then all of a sudden, whoever's doing the presenting says, what's today's date? He looks at his watch. All right, this is available next week. See you then. Boom! That's it. And just drop it. It'll be a shadow drop. No one saw that shit coming. That's why they didn't announce a release date, because they were just dealing with all the shit in the back end for manufacturing and shipping, and they're pulling a Willy Wonka. All the shit is going to be in stores. All the trucks are going out now, and that would be awesome, because then that would shut everybody up, and that would definitely guarantee everybody run out there and start picking up pre-orders, because like, what? It's going to be out tomorrow? You know, it's coming next week. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's what I would have did. I think Apple did that once for one of their iPhones.
All right, I have a question for you. Do you remember how well that worked for the Sega Saturn when they did that?
Oh, Sega got issues. Come on.
The business partners, the stores and shit were fucking pissed at them for doing it.
Yeah. But of course the stores would know this.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Of course they would know, because they're going to be getting the delivery and remember the shelf space and all that stuff. They would be in the nose. And that's
my question. Like, stores would know ahead of time, right?
Of course, the stores would know. Of course, yeah, the stores would know. But the general public, it would be one of those, if they can really keep a damn secret, this would be the ultimate, because then it would shut everybody up. It would explain a lot.
2020 with that shit, you know?
Yeah, it would definitely explain a lot of like, oh, how come we haven't seen it? How come we didn't hear a date? We got Microsoft talking dates and this and this and that. Well, this is why, because they wanted to do this mic drop moment. Hey, it's going to be out next week. We already got shit on trucks. Go ahead, go on Amazon, go on GameStop site, go everywhere, pre-order Best Buy. It's coming, and it's coming soon. You know, and that would be awesome. And that's the way I would have done it. Just based off of the fact that we don't know anything, because even before the COVID thing, we didn't know. We still don't know what it looks like. We don't know a date. We don't know what games are launching with it. Just use E3, because they already had canceled their East Coast packs. Just use E3 for the mic drop of everything. This is what it can do. This is what it looks like. This is when you can buy it. These are the games that are coming with it on launch. That's it. And it's coming soon. Go get it.
All right, cool. Carlos, how you have handled the PS5 rollout if you are Jim Ryan? Well, he's muted. I'm going to switch over to Brian. Mr. Manjoma.
Brian.
Oh, what's up? Sorry.
How would you have handled the PS5 rollout if you were Jim Ryan?
Again, you need to build hype, but hype with enough time. So I think give around like a 6 to 9 month window.
But you think they need hype? You think Sony? They're in a. I don't think they need the hype though.
Hype doesn't hurt though, man.
Like the thing is, like we will buy it, but will just Johnny off the street will he buy it? Like no, he'll need some incentive, like to actually go outside.
Price. I think the price would be it. That's the only incentive they really care about.
You can get that like 6 to 9 month span before launch. Like that's when you start actually like building the hype. So I guess February is like the best time, because then you can start saying, okay, cool. You know, we'll start talking about the PS5 now. Okay, we'll show you the console, you know, and that's it, you know. And then you have like your Digital Foundry people that do like the behind the scenes. Here's what we seen, blah blah blah. Like a month later, and then after that you go to like your E3. You just have like a PlayStation. Oh, what the hell did they call it again?
Experience.
The thing that they had for Naughty Dog, like PlayStation. What's it called? It's like a Nintendo Direct, but they had it for
State of Play.
A State of Play.
Yeah, one of those. Just have one of those at E3 where you talk about like the games, like talk about all like first party games or something, or third party games. And then somewhere in like June, July-ish, when it's quiet, that's when you say, okay, cool. Here's the price point. Here's the date. Here's everything that you guys are wanting from us. And then from there on in, just drop in like more and more stuff. Like over time, you just like gradually tell them what is included, what's not included, and then voila, you're like launching in like November, just in time for Black Friday, just in time for the holiday times, and there you go. Like you have your hype. People are informed. The information is out there. You've been drip feeding them for long enough that they stay interested, but also it's enough to like keep people that are excited, like more and more excited as time goes on, rather than just this where it's just like it's way too quiet. Like even if they are planning to launch this year, like what it's already almost April now. Like this is like 1/4 of the year is gone already.
Well, something was already wrong. I think we all know that something was going on. Whether it's delays, it doesn't need it have to be something too serious. It could just be manufacturing issues. But something definitely is holding them back from doing a lot of the shit that they wanted to do.
Possibly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's possible. We don't
so that's
know.
what I do.
Yeah.
Like, have like a 6 to 9 month window where like you plan it out, you roll out slowly bit by bit by bit. You show games off, you show controllers off, you show both like multicolored versions of the console, or even better, have it so that you can order it straight from Sony themselves and say, hey, Sony, like give me like this color console, and then they like for like I don't know, like $20 more, they give you like the color console that you want. How cool would that be?
That'd
It's
be
like, hey,
pretty
cool,
dope. Yeah.
here's your one. It's like they have like some standard type finish. So it's like, okay, all of them are matte, or all of them are like glossy or something. But you can choose like the color, and then you pay like $20 extra or $50 extra, and voila, it comes to you in your color of choice. That way, you just don't get like a white box, or like a black box of out the gate. You get your own personal ones out the gate. So I just want a damn white console on day one. That's what I want. It's so damn hard to get. I have no idea why.
Oh man. All right, Brett, how would you have handled the PS5 rollout if you were in charge?
Ah, completely the opposite of what we saw.
You mean actually put the shit out there? You know, information.
I mean, I've been saying for a while now that they've gotten out of.
You're cutting out, by the way, dude.
Am I really?
Yeah, you're probably moving.
I've been saying before that they should have really gotten out ahead of this. Not the virus, but Microsoft. That they didn't. They shouldn't let Microsoft get the jump on them again, because that's what they did last time, and it worked really well for Microsoft. So I would have been very open and candid with the news. I probably would have tried to be the first one to announce. And it really doesn't matter. You know, Nintendo has proven this. It really doesn't matter if it's about power. It's about the games you make and the fan base you cultivate. They should be focusing on cultivating that fan base, but instead, I don't know what they're worried about. So they didn't even need to really worry about having the best system. They just need to worry about pleasing their consumers, and they've been not doing that. So I would have been open, transparent. I would have been telling people things from the get-go. I would try to let them in on the scene as much as possible, and kind of take inspiration from, Stan's soapbox. Make people feel like they're in the bullpit as these things are being made. We live in an increasingly interactive world, so why keep all of this behind the curtains? For what? So you can pull away the curtain? Like, if there are people interested in getting down in there with you, let them get down there with you. It's not like Microsoft doesn't know what the fuck you're doing. So you can say, like, we're experimenting with this kind of shit, or we're experimenting with this kind of thing, or we're trying to work this kind of thing, and see how people feel about that. Maybe have somebody who gauges feedback, where people are like, hey, the community really feels like that's not going to be enough storage space, kind of thing. So yeah, it's hard to explain how I would have rolled it out, because at what stage. Because if I was starting from scratch, I would have done everything differently.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hypothetical question, so I guess if you were starting it from, scratch, how would you do it? And like you said, like the opposite of what we've been seeing, so there you go. Yo, Carlos, you back, man?
Yeah.
All right, so how would you have handled the PS5 rollout if you were in charge?
I would. I mean, it doesn't matter if they announce before or after Microsoft, as long as they do it within sort of a timely like a time frame. Microsoft announced they showed off their console December of last year, so that was like the first time anybody ever saw something like conclusive about the next generation. I don't know. They could have done sort of a breadcrumb approach where, they after in January they announced one thing about the console, saying, hey, like along with the logo, we'll show, I don't know, it's gonna have the SSD with this much bandwidth, like just small things, and then the next time, like I don't know, maybe a month later, announce something else, like something else with the specs, or just to unveil all of the specs, and then a month later, show the console. Like you can do like these little breadcrumbs that have people, keep people intrigued and keep people happy, and not allow Microsoft to saturate the market with Digital Foundry and all of these influencers talking and hyping up the console, saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. And they haven't even played it yet. They don't even know what games come up for it, but they're setting the narrative for this console, and Sony is not doing anything to do that other than Mark Cerny put us asleep. And yeah, I wouldn't have done that Mark Cerny press conference, honestly. Like even for a GDC conference, that was fucking boring.
That should have stayed a GDC conference. That's it.
Yeah. So even like if they had to audible and say, "Hey, we have our GDC conference. GDC was canceled. What are we gonna do?" It's like, hey, just rewrite the script, make it more digestible for everyone to listen to, and let's present that. It could be Mark Cerny, it can be Jim Ryan or whoever. But that's not hard to do. It's like, yeah, like your GDC conference, you can record a separate video of the GDC conference and just fucking email that shit to all the developers. Like what? Like give us a more digestible version of what you presented at GDC, and even more, like talk more about your CPU and GPU, and I don't know, it was just weird. And now we're on the precipice of April, and this time last generation we already knew a lot about the console. There's still different details that still needed to be ironed out that came out in June and E3 timeframe. And yeah, I'm totally fine with them announcing the price and the date in the June timeframe. But I would expect maybe to have a little bit more by now. And that's for me. Like I would do it every single month. I'd announce one thing about the console.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe even have like, let's say in April, I'll have a demo of the Spider-Man demo, which they already have. They could have done that shit in January if they wanted to, and that would have blown people's minds. But now the only people that got to saw it were the people that saw the leaks. So yeah, there'd be a lot of changes, man, for what Sony's doing, because they're fucking up.
Yeah, Sony, you fucking up.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
They fucking up.
Manny, how would you have handled things?
Definitely would have done a little something before all this stuff started dropping. It's weird. Like it's almost like Sony's gone back to their sort of like no advertising ways.
Yeah, right.
It's old Sony. I don't like old Sony.
Like they don't advertise. They never advertise any of their games, publicly, or they never talk about any of the new things that they have publicly. It's such an odd sort of thing, and I don't know. Maybe they did have some sort of plans between here, but who knows? And to be honest, I really think that they probably need this. With all this talk, they need to really start giving something solid than just a talk with the Mark Cerny in front of the Mystery Science Theater, I mean, granted, the funny thing about that conference is that press conference, it was pretty much identical to the one that he did at in New York for the PlayStation Pro, where it was very dry and very. But then you look at the situation with the reveal of the PlayStation, which was also a bit of the same sort of thing, but there was examples about what he was talking about. He's talking about, oh, hey, we can create a bunch of random, we create a bunch of particles, out of 3D geometry, and here it is, at least giving people something. And I feel like I don't think they should really feel proud of whatever they did, because it doesn't I think, for the most part, people are sort of seeing is believing sort of people. They're not going to just take his word for it, like, oh, this is the most advanced thing ever. And I notice a lot of, like a lot of rumblings on the internet. Like you hear a lot of developers seem like they were really excited, but the thing is that we don't, as people who are not, most people are not exactly not tech savvy, so it's just vaporware they're just talking about until we see it actually implemented. I mean, granted, he could have just rolled out his little, what was that thing? The fast Spider-Man demo like he did last, like they did for a couple of seconds last time, but kind of give you something, But yeah, I would think try to roll out something a bit quicker. I was also, go with what Carlos said, little bits of information here, which they kind of were doing too. They were kind of giving little bits. We sort of know a lot about whatever tech was going inside of the PlayStation before we even knew what was going into the Xbox. So
yeah, we knew about the SSD, we knew about the ray tracing.
Yeah, we knew about all that sort of stuff, but I think at the same time, it's also there wasn't the reason why I think the Xbox presentation also just that little trailer just stands out is because you actually saw something as opposed to just hearing about it. So yeah, roll it out early. Try to give people little things of it, and also reconfigure that GDC talk into something that can actually mean something. I'm sure Sony has different they own a bunch of different places. They probably even could have set up something inside of one of their offices to do something cool, something a little bit more visually interesting than just a guy talking in front of a blackboard.
Yeah, in front of fake people.
Well, I mean, they were real people, but I know why they did it, because they didn't want it to seem like he was just in there alone. Know,
there was no real people. They weren't real people. Yeah, they said it. They said that was digital.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. It's on their website when they talked about the design of it. We all knew that. Remember, we were goofing on it. We were like, "Oh, it's like science."
Those were probably people sitting there. They even moved and they clapped at the end, so they were probably sitting.
Here's the thing. What I think happened is I think those people were real. They were recorded, but they weren't in the room with him. That's what I think happened. I could be wrong. If somebody in the chat wants to correct us, please do. Carlos, what is this, sir?
Could you put me full screen, please?
Yes, you are full screen now.
You know how I make things better?
Yeah,
I make Sony
better? Okay.
Yo, man. Sony never gave us what Microsoft did, and this is the reaction.
Right. See if we can hear it though.
This shit doesn't want to fucking play now.
Yeah.
It's a new Xbox system. Console. It's a goddamn tower. Whoa.
Monolith.
Whoa, what's this a Scarlet? Whoa. Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh my god.
That is dope as hell.
Wait, what? That's beautiful.
Series X.
That's beautiful.
Okay, I don't think it's an actual.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Hold on.
Yeah, Carlos, you can't be
throwback.
Carlos, you can't be using IGN live streams like that. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I forgot what episode of Throwdown was. That was like 265 maybe.
Yeah, it's a safe clip from that episode.
Goose, I got your extra question, bro. But yeah, actually, next time for everybody, if you do have an extra question for us, like when we're live, leave them in the Twitch chat because I have to go through a little bit more hoops to get them off Discord when I'm live. I have the Eye of Sauron, man. But my eye is limited, so keep them in Twitch. But I got your question, so we're good to go. All right, I think we answered that fully. So let us move on to another question from Mr. Black Metal Gamer. All right, extra question just in case. Thank you, sir, for the extra question. All right, what game with shitty AI could have been good or great if the developers made the AI smart? All right, so this should be interesting. He says Aliens, Colonial Marines come to mind. So yeah, what game with shitty AI would have been better if it had dope AI or good AI?
This sounds like a Brett question to me.
It really does. It really does sound like a Brett question. Everybody just stared at Brett. Brett?
I don't know.
I don't know which way he is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're cutting in and out. I didn't even.
Oh shit! Now you cut
Oh,
out.
what? I'll say it. Brett, is there a game that has shitty AI that would have been better if the AI wasn't so shitty?
So many.
Yeah, and Brett, all of us just looked at you like this is a Brett question.
Yep.
So many. I mean, it's easier to list the ones that don't have shitty AI that couldn't
Damn.
have been improved on.
No,
I mean, okay, biggest offender, Uncharted.
Whoa, the Sony guys ain't gonna like that answer.
Come on, dude. Those guys have the IQ of a ham sandwich. Like, they will just run, like, they'll be like, hey, my buddy Bill just got shot from over behind that cover. That seems like a good place for cover. Like, no, clearly it's not. This motherfucker just got shot right there.
Well, maybe he's trying to help him. We don't know. He's like, yo, don't worry. I got you. I got these stem packs. I got this.
Because he just starts shooting, and then just every one of them is like, hey, you know what sounds like a good idea? Run into the killing corridor. That's I'll be the one to get him. Like, it doesn't seem anything but throwing waves and waves of enemies at you, and I enjoy it, but man, like, they're not even smart. Like, I've played games where at least they'll figure out like back ways to come around the corridor. They are just gung ho in Uncharted. Like, y'all have to agree with that.
I'm just gonna say it, and Brett, you already touched on it. Most games have shitty AI. I'm trying to think of a game with good AI. That's hard. Most games have done. But would you just describe? I could say that about a dozen other cover-based shooters, where the motherfuckers like they're perfectly in cover and they just run at you. Like, why are you running? I have a gun. You have a knife. How do you think this is gonna end, dude?
I'm forgetting the name. There was a first-party Sony shooter.
Was it? Oh God! Was it Haze?
Haze?
Or is it Killzone? Or
Killzone 2. Killzone 2.
Yeah.
Killzone 2 had excellent AI. Like, every time I'd hunker down and start murdering people in my little kill corridor, they just like stop coming in and be like, so is the battle done? And all of a sudden they'd pop out from a hallway to my left and be like, oh shit, no, they're all over there. Like, they'd actively, move around. So that was kind of cool. But no, that's, this is the kind of shit that I talk about when I say that, we need more than just shinier games. We need games with better processing power so we can get AI that's actually reactive and human. You need to build actual AI.
Brian, here's one that's a good one. You always talk about this. Fear. You said that has good AI.
Yeah, Fear has fantastic AI. I mean, those guys, they will out-strategize the crap out of you, and then they'll call out where you are. It's like, shit. Like, they know where I am, and they're actually talking about where I am and how to flank me, and like, oh shit, I'm last one left. It's like, oh, cool. Thank you for telling me that you're last one left. I can murder you. Yeah, it's one of the few games with good AI. Again, most games don't have that good AI. No. They have AI in quotes of like, hey, it's a thing, it stands there, it gets shot, it'll maybe shoot you back, possibly, but it's not really good AI. It won't try to outflank you, it won't try to like run around, it won't like throw stuff in your way, it won't interact with the environment. That's what I'm trying to say. Most AI, they just don't interact with the environment, apart from, hey, I'll take cover here, and that's it. I want to see AI next gen where they actually like, they throw stuff at me, like they break walls, like come and get me, and come and find me. Like, if I'm hiding behind a wall, they try and like blow up walls so that I'm not there anymore. Not just like, hey, they'll throw grenades at you until they get bored. Like, no, I want to see AI with actually AI, not just, hey, I do this until I get bored and then I just don't know what to do next. Again, like, this is one of the things I think is like really annoying with games these days, is that AI is just not that fun. It's just really brain dead. Just stands there, gets shot, gets beat up, doesn't really have any tactics, just kind of meh.
I think that's by design. I know that sounds fucked up, but I think that's by design. I think developers could make really good AI if they wanted to. I think they keep AI stupid just for general consumers, because think about it like this. Like, what I would like to see is like AI gets smarter the harder the difficulties get, that would be cool. What do they do with higher difficulties? They just become more bullet spongy and you become like paper, basically. That's what would be dope. But I think they purposely keep AI dumb because, again, I'm trying to think like games that I've played that have good AI. I can't name any. They're all stupid. You know, I can't name a single because I never played Fear.
The Division 2. That's one thing that we talk about because they'll flank you. They'll start flanking with a kill, and they're coming from behind. They'll purposely run around cars to get behind you.
Yeah, no, you're right. But the Black Tusk do that. But let's just be honest. Even the Division has stupid AI too.
Oh yeah,
motherfuckers run at you with knives, and you got a gun. I'm like, bro, come on.
They're on crack. They're on that crack rock. Remember, you shoot them. You see them shooting up.
Yeah.
Right before they do it.
But I mean, but even that's a rare exception where guys actually try to flank you and shit. Most of the time, like what constitutes harder difficulties is just bullet sponges. Like I would like to see like when you put it on like max hardest difficulty, I don't want those motherfuckers to be as smart as you. That would be dope, but we don't see that. I can't name a single game that I played in recent memory that has like made me go, oh shit, this AI was awesome. AI is standard stupid throughout every game I play. Let's just be real here, you know. Hold on. Who else? Let me read some of the comments. Halo Collector's Edition had great AI. They flanked a lot. Jump in vehicles. What's going on? Sergeant No Writer.
Combat Evolved.
My bad. Combat Evolved. I don't know. Me and Carlos played that. I don't think the AI was that great.
No. Especially at the end with the flood. It's like
fuck that shit.
They only do one thing.
They run at you. That's it.
Yeah,
but that's the cheapest type of enemy too, and you see too much of that. It's just these fucking, as I call them, melee enemies. Like all they do is just attack with punches and shit. They just hit you en masse, you know.
Yeah, I mean some of the enemies are pretty smart. Like especially the like the really big one, the brutes. I don't know, like, and what are those called? Man, I'm already forgetting Halo, man.
Yeah,
the elites. Like those are decently smart, but other than that, there's not that many of them to like justify the whole the whole thing being really smart.
Yeah, so maybe the answer is all of the games would have been better with better AI. I don't know.
Yeah,
because AI is just stupid all around the board. Let's just be real here.
And you don't even need it to be dumb. You need it to be practical. Because if it's like you mentioned, if it's smart, if they're like really smart, then you're just gonna play hard mode all the time.
Yeah.
But you just need AI to not be stupid. Don't be running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
Like do things that most people or whatever would do that have some form of intelligence. You don't have to be Einstein here. You don't have to be John Wick.
Yeah, I would just like it if like the AI just gets better the higher difficulties, because then it'll give you incentives. It's like that's one of the reasons I don't like about playing high difficulties. Aside from getting like the achievement or whatever, it's like it's just bullet sponges, man.
Yeah. Here's one thing that I don't have.
You're cutting out, dude.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. There's one thing I don't understand. You have networks that are able to record play data from literally millions of users and millions of encounters and create an algorithm and an AI based on that could actively learn and change based upon the collective behavior of the community of players. If that's a thing that you could actually do now. They don't.
No, they don't. They could do it. They could. Yeah, they could. That's the thing. That's why I believe they do that shit on purpose, just so they don't frustrate players. But you can find a balance where, like, you have AI that's satisfying to take down, but isn't overly frustrating. But again, if you do want that quote-unquote frustration, rank up the difficulties instead of just bullet sponge enemies. I know I'm sounding like a fucking broken record, but it just annoys me when they do shit like that, It's so, like lazy, for lack of a better term, Anyway, let's move on. Where the fuck are we? By the way, the Chirons are kind of cool to keep me in place. I'm like, oh, that's what we're talking about right now. All right. Okay. Last question here from Mr. Goose. Which forgotten IP from one of the big three would you resurrect? What would you like the game to be? So this is the big three being Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
I got one, but I don't even know. The weird thing about my answers, hold on,
before we even go, Brian, just say SOCOM. Just say SOCOM already.
Sorry?
Just say SOCOM.
SOCOM.
Just say SOCOM. Oh, man. This is Brian's, like, war cry on Throwdown. Bring back SOCOM. There you go. All right, Carlos, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't even know if. I mean, this title is not doesn't really have that deep of roots within this company, but it is its own IP. I mean, it is part of it's an IP for that company. But Banjo Kazooie. I mean,
a proper one, you mean?
yeah, we got Nuts and Bolts, which wasn't fucking a banjo game. It was like I don't even know what the hell it was, and we need
Garbage. My daughter hated that one.
You see, like we need a solid platforming Banjo Kazooie game. It can be. I mean, it's 3D. Its roots are in 3D, so it shouldn't be that hard to make a better version of it. Yeah, that's my main one. I was a huge Banjo Kazooie fan and Banjo Tooie in 64 days. And then I was kind of excited for Nuts and Bolts, and then it wasn't anything like the game. It wasn't really that much of a platformer.
Since we're probably not going to see this again, not because Naughty Dog's all about Uncharted's and
I got another one.
I'll come back to you. Jack and Daxter, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, we're never gonna.
No,
get that again.
that's over. That shit is done. Just like we're probably not going to see Sly Cooper again.
Oh, we're never gonna get that again either.
Yeah. But at least we had one this generation of Sly Cooper game. Jack and Daxter, that shit's been gone since the PS2. We didn't have one during PS3, did we? I don't think we did. It was all Uncharted. So. It was just Uncharted after that point,
Uncharted.
What's your other game, bro?
Oh man, I missed this game, and this is by a studio that they're doing. I mean, they already got their IP that they're gonna stick with. But it's fucking Resistance, man. Resistance 1, 2, and 3. Those games are my shit, and those games, they had great multiplayer. They had great campaign. Oh, man. They need to bring back Resistance, man. Resistance is so good. That was a launch game for the PS3, too.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, for Nintendo, I got another one.
Oh.
Yeah, man. F-Zero, man. Like, bring that shit back proper, That should be badass. They had a F-Zero like a game for Switch I launched, I was like, what are you doing, man? Bring back the real shit, Yo,
man, I thought you were going to say Punch Out.
Well, that too. Bring back Punch Out. Real Punch Out, That'd be crazy. Let's see. Microsoft. I'm not a Microsoft guy, so I don't know what they could resurrect. Maybe the Riddick game. I don't know.
They could be Fable. Fable's a good one.
I never played Fable, so I don't know.
Fable 1, 2, and 3 were really good, especially Fable 2. Fable 2 is one of my favorite games of last gen. But the freaking the Fable Legends, man, it never came out, and they were doing that RTS thing, and they just died, and we never got anything. So. Fable is a good franchise, but Lionhead doesn't exist anymore, so that one would be kind of hard to do.
They still have the rights.
They still have the rights, but they still got the magic, man. Molyneux ain't around anymore.
The third one he wasn't around for, actually.
Oh, he wasn't?
Mm-mm. The third
Fable
one
3. Fable 3 was like Fable 2 extra, and he pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, they could take the formula and build a new game out of it. That was weirdly enough, that game actually, your behavior affected the world more than Fallout or more than Mass Effect.
Well, yeah, you can get fat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like your behavior just changes everything that the way that you look, the way that people react to you, the way that the town looks and builds, the progression of the story. Like it's what Mass Effect should have been in a lot of ways.
Fable is being worked on now. What? Excuse me? Goose said he's been worked on now. It's been long rumored that Playground Games of Forza Horizon fame has been modern reboot.
Has been working on it for years now. Interesting.
Oh shit.
Sergeant No Writer says I need Microsoft to buy Sega and give me a modern reboot of Altered Beast. Sega could do that on their own. They don't need Microsoft for that. But anyway, we're talking about the big three here. All right, Brett, what forgotten franchise for one of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft, would you like to see come back?
I want to see Jet Set.
That's a Sega game. You're cutting out, man.
I think he's saying if they bought it because Sega's not doing
we're
shit
not going
with
with
it.
that. Let's go for actual games that these companies.
Oh, that's why. This is why I question. That's,
Yeah, we did a hypothetical tonight. We're not doing that. Come on now.
But then I definitely have to go with Fable.
All right, there you go. All right,
Fable.
Adam, answer the whack question.
it's whack. It's whack because everybody knows what we really want. We want another table tennis. We want another skate, another Tony Hawk, another Bionic Commando. These are the games we want, so it's not right. And the only thing I could hope for is that they go and buy it. But if not, then Fusion Frenzy. That's all.
All right, Manny, what about you?
Should I just say the obvious?
Okay, I don't know what the obvious is.
Metal Gear.
That's not first. Come on, man.
Yo, man. According to the rumors, it's gonna be.
No. Fucking
First,
Puerto Ricans don't want to answer the question, man, motherfucker.
Okay, so first party, they bring something
Nintendo,
back.
Sony,
Microsoft,
just say,
the Nintendo, Sony, or for Sony, I mean, bring back what is it? Sly Cooper.
Yeah, there you go.
For Nintendo, I mean, bring out a real Punch-Out big game because Arms wasn't a Punch-Out game.
It was not. You don't need to name all of them, by the way. By the way, Goose says Warhawk for PlayStation, Sony, Mother 3 for Nintendo. Yeah, have been talking about Mother 3 forever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Nintendo, man.
Well, Nintendo's got to call up that guy. They probably fired his ass or something. So,
shit.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, the guy probably doesn't work there anymore. And, granted, the games didn't do that. The first one didn't do that well in the States. I mean, excuse me. Didn't they just release the second one in the States? There wasn't even a first one? It was something silly. But, yeah, they got to call that guy back wherever he is. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah. By the way, during our earlier conversation about God games, it was not Peter Molyneux I was thinking about. And
what was it?
Like I want to say Will Wright, but I don't think it's him either. It's another
Tim
guy.
Schafer?
No, not Tim Schafer.
No, not Tim Schafer. He never made.
Was it Will Wright? I'm thinking about. Maybe I'm thinking about Will Wright.
Spore.
Spore. Yeah.
Spore.
No, it is Peter Molyneux. He did do Populous. Never mind. And Black and White. Yeah. Okay, you had it right. That's when nobody called us out. We got it right the first time. For some reason, telling me like, hold on, is that who I'm thinking about? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Remember, we got to get.
You fucked it up by ruining the answer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I should have known that when nobody called us out on it. Richard Gary. No. That's another one. Oh, thank you, man. I was thinking, Lord British, right? That's Richard Garriott.
Yeah,
that was Brian Manjoma.
Yeah, now Brian said you were Lord British. He's the damn it, I can't make that joke. Anyway, Brian, any other games besides SOCOM that you want to see resurrected by one of the big three?
Siphon Filter.
Oh, there you go.
Wasn't that the answer for another question?
Probably. Siphon Filter and SOCOM are going to come up a lot, man.
They're just really good, and plus Sony does not have a good third-person shooter game. Like, it's really frustrating. And like they had probably one of the best, Gears of War, but SOCOM was one of the best. And then I don't know what happened. SOCOM 4 came out, and it was really, really bad. And then Zipper went under, and then I don't know why Sony didn't help them out. It's really strange. I'm honestly really confused. It's like as if like Gears of War, like 6 does really bad, and then suddenly Microsoft just says, "Okay, cool, you're done. I'm not going to fund you anymore," and then just go under. Like, really? Why?
Oh shit! I didn't know Zipper did mag.
Yep, Zipper did mag as well.
But they also did Unit 13. They did Unit 13. That was on the Vita. That was fun. I like that one. That was Zipper. It felt like SOCOM. You were the special op forces. It had that co-op mode and stuff, so it had the feel of SOCOM. Yeah, and it was done by Zipperhead. So.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm trying to think of anything else, but I don't think there is really. They're just those two. Everything else is just.
Did you guys like? Remember. And then this is. I mean, I love this game too, but shout out to Riku, Warhawk.
We mentioned that a little bit ago. Goose mentioned Warhawk actually. I played a little bit. It's alright.
Yo, man, game butter.
What the fuck? Something I was gonna say, I completely forgot. Damn it. Who was the last guy talking? Brian, right?
Brian.
Talking about
Brian English, John, Richard, Gary,
I lost it.
Adam,
Adam. Mag. Okay,
Lord
so
British.
I find it funny how Mag was, even though it wasn't exactly it was kind of doing the battle royale shit before battle royale was a big thing. Like, yeah, I could see them bringing back Mag and tweaking it to kind of conform to the current battle royale formula, and it'll work. Because think about it, what was the big thing about the game? It was like 264 players or something on the map at once. You know, some shit like that. Yeah, 256. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of the early battle royale thing. Like, literally, what's it called? Massive action game. That's what a battle royale game is. You know.
So, except the world just stays big.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, so it's like have Mag and then just have the shrinking fucking map, and you got your modern battle royale game. Be interesting. You know.
Can we just get rid of the shrinking map, please?
Oh, you don't like it?
No, I agree. I agree with Brett.
But then what makes it I mean, I guess, but that'll make the battles even
That's what forces
longer.
people to engage, because if not, people just hide out and camp and wait for someone to come their way. Matches would last forever.
Yeah, no, they last too long already.
Dude,
they should have objectives.
Let them last indefinitely. Go with the DayZ formula. Let people jump in and jump out, and don't focus so much on who won, but what's your kill streak.
That'd be interesting.
Honestly, if you
disagree with you, Doc.
Oh.
And if you allow full loot, then you actually don't have to, because the people with the kill streaks have like crazy high gear. That's the straight up DayZ formula.
Brett, you need to make this game, man. Just saying.
I want to.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, to me, I'm like, listen, the battle royale games those matches already last forever. So it's like, without the shrinking map, they just go on indefinitely. Fuck that shit.
But if you could jump in and jump out whenever.
But that it takes away the immediacy of it, you know?
Yeah, it takes like the whole competition of it, where people want to win. I rather keep the map, make it big, and do not do the shrinking thing, but put objectives on it. You know, capture the flag, where the flag, like, people are, defending a place where someone has to steal the flag, or play, like assault or like territories or something like that. That would be interesting. You can make one life, what people have only one life and stuff like that, to keep that the same. Just don't make everything based on the map is shrinking and we're forcing you to fight each other. You can do so much other things.
I really do want to see. I know they've tried this. As a fan of a
Brett, you're cutting out, bro.
I'm just sitting in the same goddamn place.
Yeah, I don't know what
my internet.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, don't blame me, man. That's just the way it is. Anyway, go on.
As a fan of old school RTS games, I would love a mag style game where you had two commanders who were actually dropping those objective points as generals or something like that. Like, I'd take part in, like, if you could make Warcraft/World of Warcraft like into a combination where, like, as units come in, they spawn in as players and they follow the prompts that you give them.
Did you play Mag? Any chance, Brett?
I did not.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mag was. It was pretty much one team attacks, one team defends. You have, like, it's, again, the whole reason why it was 256 per, like, in the whole map is that each team was 120 players, and hence you had like 8 squads with 8 people each, and hence you could, like, set objectives to like attack this point, defend this point, deploy some UAVs, deploy some airstrikes and all sorts. And that was literally Mag in a nutshell. Like, what you're describing was Mag, just one team on defense, one team on offense.
Yeah, I agree with Jossie.
Yep. What was?
So yeah, so I'm just hearing you just say oh yeah, it'd be nice if there's like 2 generals and like deploy like teams and like deploy like stuff there. And it's like, yeah, that's Mag. Like, that's literally what Mag was. The main problem was that you could heavily sway games if you had enough people on. Like, if you had like half the map was like your squad and you were like all talking together and talking well, then you could just ruin people for days. There were games when we'd have like a full like squad of like eight people. Sorry, of four teams with 8 people, and we all just like destroy that side of the map because the whole thing was each map was like a north, south, east, and west that would meet in the middle, and you could each north, south side, each north, south, east, and west was like 2 teams of 8, and you could just rush people if you were so well coordinated. It was disgusting. Like we'd be there just like saying, okay, cool, like we'll all just rush through. It's like so have like 16 guys all rush like the side of like one objective where the team just had no idea because again like the defense team would always just like spread out just naturally just spread out, but if you had like 18 or like 16 people just rushing one side together, like okay surely they kill like the first 2 of us, but then the other 14 guys they just rush through, and then like the guys at the back will like the medics, and then they'll like pick up the guys that went down, and then we'll just burst through that whole side, and before the defense team even knows it, like the whole flank is just gone, and that's it. They've been infiltrated. The 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 airstrike or the anti-air is just down. Everything's just down. They can't respawn. It's just chaos. So yeah, if you had like one good team and you could like talk really well, you could dominate Mag. It wasn't even funny. Like you could tell when you were playing with just random people, and you were playing with teams because the differences was night and day. It wasn't even funny. It's like the difference between like playing against a bunch of grunts and playing against a bunch of like brutes and elites. It's like it was noticeable the difference in Halo terms, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Goose.
Yeah, those were the names.
Yeah, Goose says each team has a platoon leader. If your platoon leader was Dookie, it was hard to win. Pretty much what Brian just said.
Extremely hard to win. Like I don't think I ever was because I just could not get around it. I was like squad leader once, which was quite good because like calling like some airstrikes and stuff. Not, but yeah, like platoon leaders, they were just like I had like this really one good one, and he would just call out so well. It's like, okay, cool. You guys on this squad go around this side. You guys on that squad go around that side. We'll like pinch them in so that we'll cut off any reinforcements that they have, then wipe out the front line, and it just worked so well. Like we just rammed them so badly, it wasn't funny. And when we were in defense, they just never got through like the first part because they were just like, okay, cool. You know what? Make sure that these guys keep up the anti-air at all times. All they do is just wait and watch, and they reinforce. They have like some medics here. We have some guys in the front line. All they do is simply just bomb rush them and annoy the hell out of them. Like just keep running into them, keep squadding up on them, keep making sure that you just destroy them and just bug the hell out of them so that they don't come that far. And yeah, it works so well. It's like, okay, cool. Put landmines here, here, and here because chances are they'll come that way. And every single time, landmines just go off. Mag was great. Mag was really, really great. The
I'm
problem
enjoying
was
the
the player
enthusiasm.
base was really bad.
Yo, it sounds like they need to bring that shit back, man.
They did. Again, they don't have to do like what Sony did with Mag was literally one of a kind. Like no company has ever tried to make another Mag-like game since. I guess the closest thing that you have is PlanSide 2, but even then, it's like no one ever tried a Mag thing. The issue with Mag is that because it was very team oriented, like the bases were really unbalanced. Like some bases had a lot better time at defending, where some had a lot better time at offense. So hence, try and make things a bit fair. They kind of like made it like just it's just random. So random teams would defend random teams' bases and all sorts. And they even had this thing where like I think it was like every like month or so, depending on how many times your team won, you get like extra bonuses, like 5% damage or 5% cooldown on airstrikes and stuff like that, which made it a bit better. But then once everyone just picked the same team, it was just kind of like, okay, it's not fun anymore. No one really wants to be on the Dookie teams anymore.
So I wonder if Mag is going to be the new SOCOM.
Oh man, if they bring Mag back, because Mag is the old Mag. It's like it's just dead.
Oh no, I'm talking about Brian.
Oh,
You know how Brian? Brian
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe Mag. Brian could wax philosophically about Mag from now on.
Oh no, like SOCOM will always have the place in my heart because SOCOM was something special. It was like I've never played a game since as good as SOCOM in many different ways, which is really weird since that's like a PS2 game. Like how are games still better than the PS2 era? Like in terms of shooting, in terms again, it was not a cover-based shooter. They had cover there, but it was not cover-based. You actually crouch and that's it. You crouch and that's it, and there's no like snap to cover or anything, or this Gears of War like thing where like you bounce off the walls. Like no, none of that nonsense. Like you literally like have to like take cover and all
You remember
sorts.
when you just used to hide behind stuff, and then
Yeah,
they made it into like, oh, you're just like, hey, here's a corner. Hey, here's something to crouch behind.
no, like there's like artificial. Like this is one of the things that I hate about just modern games in general. It's like everything's just like shoulder high cover. It's like so basically there's gonna be like an enemy attack soon because somehow I'm walking through this place and everything is shoulder high. Whereas in Mag and SOCOM, sorry, in SOCOM at least, it was like, hey, here's like a wall that starts off very high, goes off very low. Is that cover? You don't know because there's no way to know. You know, there's no like, hey, if you stand here, you get a good advantage. It's just like, hey, it's a wall. You know, it's like it's just a wall that's there, not just like, hey, there's this random table like on its side. I wonder what that's going to do later.
All right. Anything else about Mag?
I think Brian just. I think he
Brian
talked
shut
more
that
about
shit
Mag
down.
than the,
He dropped the bomb, son.
no
He talked
one's
more about
talked-
Mag than Sony did. So
No one's talked about
Damn.
Mag in the past 10 years more than Brian did in this
Yo,
show.
that's
man.
some true shit right there, man. That's
Shout out
crazy.
to Brian.
Yeah, next time we'll bring Rico on to talk about Warhawk, you know, because he loves that fucking game. All right, man. We're done here, and we pulled it off. 2-hour show. We're professionals around here, man. You know how Throwdown does.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, man. All right, so that's it for us, man. So thank you for watching and listening. Leave us your questions on the Throwdown Discord server, and we'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. Tonight, joined by Emilio Lopez,
See you later, guys.
Carlos Romero,
Hey, take care, everyone.
Adam Vale,
stay safe, everybody.
Brett Murdoch,
It's been a pleasure, party people.
and Brian Manjoma.
Mag was great.
That's it, man. Yo, man, we'll see you on Thursday, man. Stay safe out there, people. Peace out.
Jesus.
Laters.
Threeses.